everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's Talking Reds. My name is Mo Stewart. I'm alongside John Gibbons today. We're continuing our Talking Reds on tour week. We've decided to come down here to the lovely Mossley Hill.
Yes.
And the beautiful Liverpool Football College.
Liverpool Football College, yeah.
Because they've got a very, very special announcement today. A very certain person, Mr. Steven Gerrard, is coming along, and he's going to be getting involved in a lot wider capacity, John. And it's really been fantastic to hear him speak and hear about him helping out other kids from the city progress through the levels and maybe onto a professional career.
Yeah, we've been involved with the Liverpool Football College for a while. I say involved, we've been helping them out a bit in terms of fundraising. So one of the events we did on air was a fundraiser for them because they go involved in the Dallas Cup. Yeah, so they do the Dallas Cup, which is obviously really prestigious youth tournament, known sort of worldwide. This college actually sends 2 or 3 teams over there now every year, and so we were helping fundraise for that. And I know Emma's been involved quite a lot in terms of helping them in certain things. We've done a few press releases and stuff like that. So they invited us down today to get involved. So I know what good work they do here. I know how much they're doing for kids, getting them to the next level, and that might be from a footballing sense, so that might be going to university in America or getting back with a professional club. But it just might be as well, just getting them into university in this country or into employment. Mm-hmm. So it's just helping kids kind of with the development both in football sense but also academically. So they're doing really good stuff here, but obviously having Stevie involved is hopefully going to take it to another level. And it was interesting talking to my close personal friend Steven Gerrard this morning because he's obviously, for him it's not just throwing my name on something. He does want to help, he does want to kind of get stuck in and kind of enhance what they're offering here in any way. So yeah, good on them. And I think if I was a 17-year-old kid or I had a 17-year-old kid, I'd be looking to, I'd be saying, get down the college.
I'll tell you, I mean, it looks like I'm emotional. Genuinely, that's just wind and a bit of a cold. But I was looking through the brochure and I was just thinking to myself, if I was a 14, 15-year-old kid, I would be doing everything I could to make sure I get down here. And it's such a vast place here as well. You can see there's so many different pitches. They've even got rugby pitches in the back as well. So it's just something that's going to be a kind of a hub for the whole area for people to come down and get involved. I imagine there's going to be some football teams, local teams who are going to get a chance to come in and play as well. It's just a really nice thing. And obviously you got to speak to Stephen. He had a little bit of a Q&A just now, and I thought you handled it all right.
Thanks, mate. I can't remember a single second of it, to be honest with you. I was just gazing into his eyes and I'm wanting not to stumble too much over my words. So if I achieved that, then I'll take it, Mo, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it was a flawless performance. So we should probably start talking about Liverpool, since that is really why we are here. Obviously, it's international break. You guys are probably still celebrating the City result, just like I have been. But we've got some sad news. You probably start with Mo Salah, you might have noticed, has pulled out of the Egypt squad. As much as some people might be pleased about the idea he's not going to be playing 2 games, the reason he's pulled out is a recurrence of his ankle injury. Apparently this time Johnny's wearing a protective boot. I'm not sure if that makes it worse or better. He's clearly been struggling with something over the last few games, but it's a real potential shame.
Yeah, it's not been right since that Leicester game, has it, in the Chowdhury Challenge. And, he's fair play to him because he's obviously been trying to get on the pitch. He's only actually missed 1 game, and that was the one at Old Trafford. We didn't win that game, so I'm sure he was, even more kind of keen to to be back on the pitch and helping his teammates out. So he's been playing through the pain barrier. I've noticed, they put out these pictures from Melwood and things like that, don't they? And he's been doing a lot of work, just trying to strengthen that ankle, just trying to do it from managing it really. But obviously there was a couple of hefty challenges in that City game, as you can imagine. It's a top of the table clash. There always is going to be, and there's the one in the first half when he went down a bit, wasn't it? I was like, oh, here we go. But then he got back up, but got to towards the end of the game, which is a testament to him really. But you might just have to decide, it's this international break, but maybe even a little bit longer, and just give him a bit of a time so he is ready for a very, very busy December.
I was going to say, John, I mean, when you think about the importance and the priority of the games, I mean, of this little next run we're coming into, you'd say obviously the Napoli game might be crucial, but outside of that, there might even be an argument to say maybe just give him a little bit longer to recuperate, and we'll try and manage the rest of the fixtures until maybe we get to the Christmas period, maybe even the derby, for example, and then you can start thinking about maybe integrating him back in the team.
Yeah, because it's not like we're in April and you think, we'll just get him to the summer, you know what I mean? It's November, and so there is a long way to go, and so I understand why they've done it. Obviously, he would have been keen to play, as I said, and I understand why, from from their point of view, it's been a case of, you know, we'll see if we can manage it, because you'll always try, but you know, his performances have been good, but you know, it's obviously kind of still struggling. So maybe a little bit of a break. There's other guys there, you know, there's players coming back hopefully as well. So yeah, just get him right, I would say, and then watch him fly for the rest of the season.
Yes, I agree. And what will make that easier is if everybody else comes back fit and firing and with no other injuries. Obviously, the Brazilian lads are going off to the Middle East, playing United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, which is a long journey. We don't know how much they're going to play. We've got a lot of lads at the moment who are integral for their national team. So the likes of Gini and Virgil, they're probably going to play the majority of 2 games. Obviously, Henderson is suspended for the first England game. We don't know whether or not Joe Gomez will get on, so all you're hearing about me from him. So we're in that normal situation where we're just sitting around, crossing our fingers and hoping everyone comes back all right.
Yeah, that's always the case in international breaks, isn't it? You know, you're monitoring it. You want people to do well, and it's always nice when you see, say, Sadio score or whatever, or Bobby score. But the main thing you want is them to come back, you know, without any injuries and obviously as fresh as possible as well. So you got your eye on when they play as much as where, really, isn't it? You know, is the last game Monday or is it into Tuesday? Which then with the time difference is back on Wednesday, and when are they going to be getting back? I mean, look, they get looked after, don't they? And I know Liverpool in particular do look after the players coming back. You know, private jets and all that. But it's still travel, it's still different time zones, it's still football at the end of the day. And yeah, obviously Palace at the weekend, we want everyone as fresh as possible for it.
Now, Rob Gutman's normally your expert on exactly who's playing when and where. So keep an eye on his social media, because I'm sure definitely he will be updating it. Now, something else that has happened in this little break, Neil Jones, occasionally of our parish, has put out a really good piece, an interview he did with Virgil van Dijk as part of the Goal.com awards that he won. I believe he's the first person from Liverpool to win it, only the second Premier League player to win it as well. And it went into a really in-depth interview, got some people to speak from his past career, from the Groningen coach, Ronald Koeman, some players from Southampton, from Celtic, and some of his Liverpool teammates, John. And one thing that I really took from it straight away is how pleased they all are for him. Everyone really seems to love Virgil, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, we've been sort of doing something a little bit similar, funnily enough, and you know, that's what you take from it, is that you think, oh, Virgil van Dijk, he's ours, but he belongs to a lot of different people. Obviously, he's a Dutch guy, and the clubs that he's been there are proud of him. You know, for Celtic there, he did amazing, and you go up and speak to Celtic fans. I know he spoke to Neil Lennon, didn't he? And they feel like part of a success story, and they should, you know what I mean? Because it's all been building blocks, hasn't it, to kind of where he is now, really. And, you know, Virgil, you know, wasn't thought of as this big superstar at 16, 17. In fact, the big clubs in Holland didn't want him. And so he had to go through, you know, the slightly harder way, you know, to get to where he is today. So all these, you know, football clubs and individuals that you speak of, you know, should feel rightly proud of the part of this journey, you know, and part of this story that's got him to where it is now, which is obviously the winner of this goal award, and I'm sure kind of many, many more to come.
And it's funny because you referenced in that piece, Robbo, and the fact that he had to work so hard, and the fact that he himself had to work so hard, and he didn't have it handed to him on a plate. And again, that brings us right back to where we're standing right now. A lot of these kids may have had that first taste of success in the academy, really young, didn't work out for them, and are now trying to find their way back into the system. And it's just another reinforcing the idea that you can never really give up on yourself.
No, definitely. And you look at the England national team at the moment, there's actually very few who are sort of, you know, products of the academy system, if you like, or the elite academy system, if you like, as well. So this AA or AAA or whatever they call it, you know, for example, Liverpool. So you look at someone like Raheem Sterling, or you know, for example, you know, he was always kind of destined to make it in a way. That's not to take anything away from, I'm sure, the hard work and everything that he's put in. But many more of them, you know, someone like a Jamie Vardy who was playing lower non-league football. You know, Harry Maguire is now the most expensive defender, you know, in the world. You know, he came through the sort of lower leagues, especially from a defensive point of view. Loads of them have either had loans out. You know, even someone like John Stones. Obviously, he's a very expensive defender now, but you know, he started at Huddersfield, was it? And so a lot of these players, they weren't just, at the big clubs and then made a debut. With, like with Stevie today, do you know what I mean? Now, if Stevie was here with us now, he'd say, well, I didn't have it all easy either, and I'm sure that is true. But, people take different journeys, don't they? And it's really interesting where you go to the academy and speak to people like Neil Critchley, who's the under-23 coach, and he'll say, some players, he said, some young lads take the elevator to the top and some people take the stairs. But as long as you get there, it doesn't matter. So, if you're moving a little bit slower than someone else, you've just got to keep going, keep pounding those steps, and it's worth it in the end.
Hey, if you take the stairs as well, your legs get stronger.
Well, there we are. Physically and metaphorically.
Yeah. One other thing for the Virgil piece that I really enjoyed was watching him watch the video of everyone singing this song, Jamie Webster singing the Virgil van Dijk song, and apparently, I didn't realise at the time, some of his family were actually in that crowd, and they sent it to him before the match. They sent him a video, so he'd seen that before the match. So anyone who doesn't think that the fans can have an effect on how the players feel before a match, this is me proving to you that we can have that effect, and it can be fantastic. I mean, again, just looking at his face when he was watching that video, it just warmed my heart.
No, it's brilliant. And he's obviously in the hotel. He's probably meant to be getting some rest, isn't he? Just get his head down, but instead he's watching videos of himself, and the family are there, and it's amazing because for the family, obviously they'll have shared the journey with him and aware of all the sorts of sacrifices that he's made, and probably they've made as well to an certain extent. So it's an amazing moment for him, and it just shows that these players do buzz off it. I remember actually around Kiev, there was Mo Salah's agent tweeted out saying, like, I'm in my hotel room and all I can hear outside is people singing Mo Salah songs and boss and thank you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And so, like, for Team Salah, if you like, they're loving not just the fact that he's playing obviously really well for the top club, but also that love he's got from the fans. So it does make a difference, and I'm really pleased that when you go to a Liverpool game, we've got all the songs for the individual players, because I wouldn't say that's unique to Liverpool, but we seem to have more than others. Yeah, deeper into the squad. Yeah. So it feels like the 7 or 8 all lads have got a really good song now, and think about a player when you hear that on the pitch, like that must feel like unreal. Do you know what I mean? And so because the good ones as well, which helps. So yeah. Whoever's writing them, because it's not us, whoever's writing them, keep going. Obviously, Jamie will keep picking up the good ones and singing them, and the players appreciate it.
I've officially given up on my Radio Gaga Sadio Mane. It's just not happening. Like, I'll enjoy it myself, but it's just not happening. Yeah,
you're ahead of your game, or Mo. In 5 years' time, it'll be everywhere, and you might see.
I mean, Queen had a resurgence with that film, and still, no, it's fine. You more creative people out there, you keep writing the songs, you keep hearing them, and the lads will keep running through brick walls for us, hopefully. We get to the part of the show where it's more about admin than anything else, so I am off to go and record the Gutter Show. We're doing another Gutter Show today, which is really exciting. John, what else are you up to for the rest of today?
Just got more shows, and obviously the international break doesn't slow down for the Anfield Rap, so there's loads of exciting stuff going on. If you didn't notice yesterday, we had a very famous, very special guest on AFQ Football, Jamie Carragher. So what we do every week is we ask Facebook for questions. Now, I never said that Carragher was coming on. I said it was a very special guest, so maybe someone's jumped, but this is going to feel like it's a setup, but it's not, because the very first question is, Darren Murrish, would Jamie Carragher have been a good enough footballer for our current side? Kev?
No fucking he's not getting past big Degsy, like. Coolness personified, mate. Nah, fucking hell, no. If you're trying to straight answer, nah, of course you would, 1,000,000%, but it feels a bit shit to say that because he's sitting right here. Now I feel like I'm kissing his ass. What a terrible way to start the show.
I've never heard Kev Walsh flap in my lifetime.
So the guy's name is Darren Murrish. Jamie, I don't know if you've got anything you want to say to him.
Facebook is not in my... So I can't go and harass him on Twitter or Instagram. If you're on Facebook, that is not my world. But... was I getting the current team? I certainly wouldn't get in ahead of Van Dijk.
He's saying as a footballer, not a defender. So I think what he's saying is that the way they play, would you felt? I mean, you started as a centre mid.
I'd be alright.
Would you fancy that a fullback the way they play now?
Oh, no, I couldn't play fullback. No, no chance. The way they play now, definitely. I was a good fullback for Liverpool in the way we played, which was basically 4 centre backs. Certainly, if you go back to 2001 with Houllier when we won the 3 cups, and Babel obviously got a few goals that year, but a lot of them were set pieces. Obviously got the famous one at Goodison, but he wanted to play centre back as well. I wanted to play centre back, and that's what we were just like a wall.
Another legend of Liverpool who's been lucky enough to hang out with me the last 24 hours here.
Bloody hell.
Jamie Carragher came on AQ Football, so that's on our subscription audio service. It was absolutely brilliant. It was just a gang of lads having a really good time and talking about obviously what's going on with Liverpool at the moment, which is mainly positive, so that's good. So that is really good. So make sure you check that out. That is the main thing that I'd say today. But yeah, loads of cool stuff happening in the international break.
I had a listen yesterday, had some very interesting comments about Lovren, and amongst other things. One other thing that's coming out today that I did yesterday, the European show is back. This is an international break, so it always seems like the nice time to do it. We were talking to Sid Lowe, we were talking to Chloe Beresford, we had Chris Williams in the studio with us. So if you're into your German football, your Italian football, your Spanish football, go listen to that. It's coming out at some point today. But John, I think it's time for us to go and find something a little bit warmer.
Up the heads.